Quick question. When's the last time you spent 20 minutes deciding whether to do something that takes 5? Yeah, same. And here's the part that's going to bug you. That's not a focus problem. It's not even a you problem. By the end of this, you'll know exactly why your brain does that, and the one slightly embarrassing thing I changed that made it stop. I didn't become a calm person. I didn't wake up one day with discipline. What changed is smaller than that. For years, I thought I was just too much, too in my head. Everyone else seemed to just do the thing. Reply to the text, start the workout, send the email. Meanwhile, my brain wanted a meeting first. Context, mood check, backup plan, ideal conditions, a small TED talk to itself about whether this was even the right time. Replying to one email could feel like negotiating with a hostage taker. And the hostage taker was me. Here's what nobody told me. Overthinking isn't a thinking problem. It's a battery problem. Every decision, even tiny ones, what to wear, what to eat, when to start, pulls from the same battery. By the time you hit the decision that actually matters, you're running on fumes. You're not weak-willed. You've just made 50 withdrawals before lunch. Then one day I asked myself something kind of uncomfortable. Why am I letting the most exhausted version of me make all the decisions? Because that's what was happening. By 4 p.m., drained me decided whether to work out. Drained me decided whether to start the project. Of course, drained me said no. Drained me says no to everything. By the time you're watching this, you've probably already made over 100 tiny decisions today. None of them felt like decisions. All of them cost you something. Before I tell you what I actually did, fair warning, it's almost insultingly simple. So simple I sat on it for months, because I figured it couldn't be the answer. This isn't a 5 a.m. wake-up color-coded planner become a new person story. What I did was smaller, and there's one rule buried in it that changed everything else. We'll get there. But first, the boring part. The boring part is what makes the rule actually work. Here's the rule that runs everything now. Decide it once and let it run on autopilot, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Most people do the opposite. They say, I'm not in the right headspace today. I'll decide tomorrow. But tomorrow, you has the same battery problem. So when my brain is loud and arguing with me, that's exactly when I trust the plan I made on a calm day over the opinion of the panicking day. The plan doesn't have moods. That's the whole point of it. Heads up before I go through these. There are 4, and I'm doing them in the wrong order on purpose. This first one is the easiest, and honestly the least important on its own. The 4th one is what quietly fixes the other 3. But you need this one first, or none of the others stick. First thing I did, stopped asking, what should I work on today? That question alone could eat 40 minutes. So I picked one default thing, the thing I work on unless something's on fire. No ranking, no, well actually maybe this is more urgent. One thing. Here's the part that sounds backwards. The people you think of as disciplined aren't making more good decisions than you. They're making almost none. They already decided. That's the entire trick. If my brain offers 5 other options, I say thanks, not today. Choice is where overthinking lives. Kill the choice, and a lot of the overthinking has nowhere to stand. Second one, I gave myself permission to quit anything after 5 minutes. Sounds backwards, right? But it removed the size of the task from the decision. My brain doesn't fear the workout. It fears the idea of an hour-long commitment before breakfast. So, I shrink the door to 5 minutes. Walk through it. Almost every time I keep going. But even when I don't, 5 minutes happened. 5 minutes repeated is a habit. 0 minutes repeated is a personality you're stuck explaining to people. Third, and this one changed more than I expected. Every random thought that tries to interrupt me, an idea, a worry. Oh, I should email that person. I don't deal with it right then. I write it down. Somewhere outside my head. Phone, notebook. Doesn't matter. Quick gut check. How many things are you meaning to get to right now? If it's more than 3, bad news. That list is open in a tab in your brain right now, running in the background, even while you watch this. Your brain can't tell the difference between an important thought and an urgent feeling one. Both feel like sirens. The notebook is where sirens wait their turn. Fourth, I stopped deciding how long I'd work and only decided when I'd start. Start time fixed. End time whatever it is. Overthinkers don't fear the task. We fear the open-endedness of it. How long is this going to take has no good answer, so the brain refuses to begin. Take the question off the table. You're not committing to a marathon. You're committing to showing up at 10. Before I tell you why this worked, I have to admit something. There was one week this whole thing almost fell apart. Everything got disrupted, all 4 defaults broke at once, and for about 4 days, I was right back where I started. And here's the strange part. That week is how I know it works. The system didn't need me to recover or get motivated again. I just restarted the defaults on a day I felt terrible. And within 48 hours, it was like the bad week hadn't happened. None of these 4 things are impressive. That's the point. I didn't get better at thinking. I got better at not needing to. I stopped negotiating with myself every morning, like my brain was a toddler I had to convince. The system doesn't need me to feel ready. It doesn't ask how I slept. It just runs. Slowly, with no dramatic before and after, the noise in my head got quieter. Not because I fixed it, but because it stopped being in charge. So no, I still don't feel calm every morning. I still don't always want to start. But here's the difference. I don't ask anymore. I said it at the start. I didn't become a calm person. Turns out I didn't need to. I just needed to stop putting someone this tired in charge of the schedule. Here's my actual question. Not the video's mine. If I asked you right now what your one default is, could you answer in 5 seconds? If you can't, that's not a flaw. That's where to start. If you think in circles, don't try to think your way out of it. You can't outthink a battery problem. Build one boring default. Just one. Let it carry the days your brain can't.